Hey, how's it going? This is your boy, Chairman Sean. I'm a paid media buyer and I just also happen to own an e-commerce store. But today I'm going to trigger you if you are in the world of doing lead generation or working leads. Now, the biggest complaint I hear, no matter what the situation is, running about $60,000 a month or so in ad spend on just lead generation is this: the leads suck. The lead quality is not good. The leads are terrible. Okay, I want to use this video to show you how to get better quality leads, but I'm going to give you a caveat. And the caveat is you're going to have to make a decision on how you want to approach this. I'm going to give you two approaches. I'm going to make suggestions on which one you should use for your scenario. But what I want to do, though, is tell you a quick story about two friends of mine. One is a childhood friend I've been friends with for over 30 years. Matthew Copley. Matthew lives in San Diego. He runs a financial services outfit that focuses in the senior market, doing reverse mortgages and doing money under management. Okay. Now, Matt never complains about lead quality, but this is what he does to get quality leads. He rents out a high-end steakhouse. He'll pay for direct mailers to senior citizens that meet certain qualifications that he needs to have, and he gets them in this restaurant and he does a 2-hour presentation. He will spend upwards of $30,000 to $50,000 last time I talked to him to host one event that gets about 50, I think, to 60 people, maybe. Okay. So you could do the math. If he spends 30,000, he gets 50 people. I mean, you're talking about thousands of dollars per lead, right? But here's the thing. Matt will get most of these people. I think he said 80+% of these people to do an appointment, a sales call. They'll go to their house, or they'll meet in his office. He has this really beautiful office in Mission Valley, and he will close enough to get a double-digit return on his investment. Okay. Now, Matt's a world-class salesperson. He's excellent, but he also knows that if he pays top dollar to get people to get out of their house, drive through San Diego traffic, which isn't always easy, and sit in a restaurant and listen for 2 hours, he's got qualified leads, but he's willing to pay the money to get them. My other friend, Josh Post, he does outbound sales for people looking to start an e-commerce store. Okay, and it's a high ticket sale, and he will sit there and understand that these leads are expensive and they're not all great. It's a mixed bag. I actually partnered with Josh to service roofers. And what we found is we were paying sometimes $120 a lead. We were paying about $240 a sales call. But because we put these people through the ringer, he was closing about 40% of them. So here's what I want to address first, and then I'm going to show you some techniques you can use to qualify your leads. There's two scenarios. You can either go for volume or you can go for quality. Now, there is the occasional scenario where you get the nexus where you get both. It's rare. It's really, really rare. Okay. Here's when you should go for quantity or volume. If you don't have a sales force, like you don't have a salesperson, appointment setters, and you're not going to do it yourself, I would go for volume. I'd get them on your email list, and I would just basically use a harvesting sort of technique where you give them value in the emails, you tell stories, you try to get them emotionally charged. If you're an email marketer, this is all old hat to you. Okay. That's when I would do a volume strategy. Okay. Especially if you're selling lower ticket items, stuff that's like well under $1,000. Okay. In that case, all you really need to do is just get some basic information: name, email, maybe what they're interested in. You could do lead form ads on Facebook. It doesn't really matter. The platforms are not really as important as just the qualification process. But if that's your scenario, I would go for volume. Now let's talk about quality, because this is the bane of any paid media buyer's existence and marketing and an ad agency's existence. You have to make a determination if you really truly want quality, and if you're willing to invest the money and resources to make that work. What do I mean by that? Well, I just gave you the example of my friend Matt, who pays thousands of dollars a lead, but he's getting tens of thousands of dollars back on each one he closes. Okay. And, he's got an entire apparatus that he's developed to not only get them to an event, have people go to their homes or have them come to the office. He's got phone setters, he's got salespeople. There's a whole app. He's got a whole entire direct mail marketing apparatus and online marketing apparatus. If he is willing to invest that kind of money to make that work. Okay. Now, with with respect to getting quality leads, what you have to do is, in my opinion, and based on what I've seen work personally, is put a lot of friction or make it hard for them to get in your funnel up front and make it easy for them to get in front of you on the other side. How does that look? This is the simplest part of it. If you're running paid advertising, what you do is this. You either run like a Facebook lead form and ask a lot of questions, or you send them to a landing page and ask them a lot of questions. What do those questions look like? Well, let me write them out for you. The first one is basic. You get basic info, name, email, phone. And what I ask for is a business name. Okay. The reason why I ask that is because I want to be able to look them up and do a little bit of research. And, assuming that I get on a phone call with them, I want to make sure I can actually, talk intelligently about their business. Okay. The second thing I'll ask for, what do they sell? Because again, it helps you build rapport, in your sales process. But the more questions you make them answer, your lead costs will go up. However, you're also qualifying them along the way. So you can actually pick and choose who you want to talk to. Number three, ask them how much revenue per month do they currently generate. I want to get a sense. Are they in a position where they can even afford this? Afford what I do. Number four, what I think this is really, really important is, because I'm making an assumption, which can be dangerous a lot of times. But if they're looking for help, they're obviously probably trying to make more money, right? What is preventing you from scaling or hitting, or you could put, or hitting your goals? You could use either. It doesn't. I don't think it's made a difference in testing for me. Okay. Do not put why. It kind of puts people on a defensive setting, and you don't want to do that. Just say, oh, there obviously is something preventing you from getting where you want to be. Just, could you tell me what it is? Okay. Number five, what makes now a good time to fix this problem? This is all setting you up to get the information you need to close the deal, but it's also, again, it's getting them in the mindset of like, yeah, this person's obviously trying to understand where I'm coming from, and it kind of shows a level of seriousness. And as you analyze these answers, you'll get an idea of what these people are doing. Last thing, I want you to think about what you charge for your service. So let me give you a round number. Suppose you charge $1,000, okay, for writing a series of emails or writing a landing page, whatever it is. Just let's use a simple round number. I want you to take that number and double it. Now, no, this isn't like, oh, raise your price. There's a little psychological thing I've noticed that works exceptionally well. So let's say that the mark is $1,000. Do you have at least $2,000 to invest in scaling your business? If they answer no, then don't waste your time talking to them. You can even email and say, hey, I got your form. I got your application. It doesn't look like you're a good fit for us. Here's some resources. You could maybe sell them a course if you have one available. But the reason why you ask for double is, if they have it, you could probably ask for double and you make an extra $1,000. But if you come at them and say, you get to the end of your sales call and you use all this information on here, and you say, by the way, I asked you if you had $2,000 to invest. Well, I have good news for you. To get this started, it'll only take $1,000. And they're usually really happy. They're like, oh, okay, that's amazing. This is even better than I thought. Okay. These 6 questions, the reason why I like asking them is even Facebook lead forms will tell you like, you might lower your conversions. That's fine. What I'm trying to determine when I first start a lead gen campaign is not cost per lead. People get too hung up on that. If I sell something that's $1,000 to break even, just leaving aside costs and everything, I made a separate video about how to determine that. I know that I have $1,000 worth of leads I need to get and at least close one to break even. What you really want to see is how many leads does it take me to close a deal and make money? Okay. And then you can start working like, do I need to lower my costs? Do I need more volume? Whatever. Okay. But we use this technique, Josh and I, and we closed 14 deals in 2 weeks, basically one a day. Sometimes he did 2 or 3 a day, and didn't work the weekends. But I can tell you that the lead quality, there were some that were bad and there were some that were great. It was about 60-40, good to bad. But here's a really interesting anecdote I want to tell you, because the lead quality thing in a lot of ways is a perception thing. Yes, some of them are going to suck, and and you can put up all the guardrails you can, and there's nothing. It just doesn't stop people from not paying attention and just blowing through something. But we were running at lead gen for some of these contractors, and they were telling us how bad they were. What we found is they weren't calling them. Then what we found is Josh was calling some of these leads that were 2 weeks old, so they were pretty aged in that regard. And he got a hold of 7 out of 10 of them and booked appointments with 4 out of 10 of them. Which leads me to the last thing I want to give you is what I want you to do is it's this real simple funnel. Add landing page, lead form with these questions, and then calendar. Have them book a calendar appointment. What we found was really interesting is the guys that we signed up as clients all self-booked. That will tell you how motivated they really are when they self-book. Okay? Do not leave it the chance that you'll just get a hold of them. Have them self-book so that it's like they've mentally committed to something. Obviously, people change their minds and stuff like that. And then what I would do from there is send a follow-up SMS confirming the appointment and ask if anything would prevent them from showing up. That helped get the show up rates to a very high rate. I think it was well over 75%. Okay. Use this technique, use these questions, adapt the questions that you're going to use based on what the scenario is. But I'm telling you that the lead quality, the lead suck thing is just in your head. Okay. Understand that some of them, yes, will not be good, but also understand that you have some control over that. But also understand that you have to make a decision of what strategy works best for your business. And again, just to recap, if you don't have a sales team, then just go for quantity, go for volume, use email marketing and SMS. If you do, go for quality, understand you'll pay more. But if you pay more and you qualify in this way, you'll actually close these folks faster. And what you'll ironically find out is your cost per lead is actually cheaper because your cost per acquisition, which is the most important thing, is cheaper. Okay. Let me know what you think about this. Put some comments in down below. If you need help and you're on LinkedIn, feel free to direct message me, connect with me. If you're watching this on YouTube, definitely I'll leave my email address so you can contact me directly. But do not, let me just end this with this, in this video on this note. Don't spend your time bitching and complaining about lead quality. Spend your time going back and refining your process. Just focus on the process. The results will come through. You'll be fine and you'll close lots of deals. And I'll see you in the next video.